Foundation for the 5th Annual Piamico Day Wreath-Laying Ceremony at Fair Park in downtown Tupelo on October 13th. Starting at 10 a.m., enjoy demonstrations of Chickasaw history and culture, followed by the wreath-laying ceremony at noon.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather This Morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to Mississippi Live Weather this morning. Hope you have your cup of coffee and you're ready to go out the door this morning. It might be hard to get up and get out on a Monday morning when we're seeing a lot of clouds and rain in the mix. I know it's hard for me to get up on those mornings. But as always, thanks for tuning in to Mississippi Live Weather. I'm meteorologist Maggie McCauley. I want to show you what's going on out the door this morning before we get into the forecast. Because some of us, dealing with some rain. You can see this just band of showers. Let me show it to you from really over in the Delta into northeast Arkansas, all the way stretching along really 278 this morning, extending in northern Alabama and just extending north. So you can see it just kind of propagating northward. And that's what we're watching out the door this morning. So that's the overall movement on it, even though like Bruce, Amory right now, not seeing ongoing rainfall, did overnight. So going to be dealing with some wet roadways this morning. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I want to show you the ongoing rainfall right now. Who's seeing the heaviest? Again, if you're traveling along 278 this morning, you are going to be running into rainfall. I don't really care where you're traveling along it because a lot of us seeing that rainfall from Clarksdale all the way into Lafayette County. We did see it extending even into places like Lee County. That has now moved north, but again, still wet roadways. Heaviest of rain I'm seeing right now, no lightning strikes this morning. So not talking about anything strong to severe, just some moderate rainfall for some. Again, over in places like northwest Mississippi between Marks and Sledge right now is where I'm seeing kind of the heaviest downwards. You can see kind of that orangish yellow color, a little bit heavier there. A good portion of Panola County dealing with some rainfall. So, hey, if you're headed up and down 55 this morning from Panola County into places like Tate County, rain is moving into Tate County right now. But if you're traveling along there into places like Memphis, you're going to be dealing with some rain, specifically if you're in Panola County this morning. Same story along 22. I'm seeing rain extended all the way from New Albany up into places like Holly Springs. Other place I'm seeing a little bit of a heavier downpour this morning. I hate to say even heavy. I'll say moderate downpour this morning because it's not too heavy out there. Is just south of Enterprise, Mississippi. So seeing a little bit heavier pocket there near Pinedale, also near Parks. Again, these are outside of New Albany. So seeing those areas. And again, 22 across the board, seeing some rainfall this morning as well. So that's what's ongoing. I'm going to zoom out and show you a little bit of northeast Mississippi before we do, because Alcorn County into Prentiss County dealing with some rain as well. So Kossuth, Biggersville, over into places like the eastern side of Boonville, Burton, dealing with some rain out there as well. But nothing that should slow you down too much, because I'm not talking about anything strong. But yeah, you're going to have to use your windshield wipers this morning if you do get under some of this. Let's talk about how much rain anybody picked up overnight before we get into it. Not much, but you can see here, I'm going to zoom out. You can see where we picked up rain overnight. So even though these areas, again, areas really along and south of 278 from Grenada, Duck Hill, Water Valley, Bruce, Houston, Amory, even though these areas right now are not seeing any rainfall, you're going to be dealing with wet roadways out there this morning because it rained overnight, picked up some rain overnight. How much? Well, let's see here. Not an overwhelming amount. Let's see what this estimates. Yeah, less than a quarter of an inch, maybe over a little over a quarter of an inch in some areas, but most of us less than that. So again, wet roadways for some this morning if you're not dealing with that ongoing rainfall, but that's a look of what you can expect out the door at least this morning. Let's talk about some ground truth out there. I want to show you some cameras so you can know what to expect if you haven't left your house yet this morning. This is why I said it's a little bit harder to get out the door. Take a look at this. Lots of cloud cover. This is over in Winona. I mean, when it looks like this, it's just hard to get out of bed, right? So cloud cover, even if you're not dealing with ongoing rainfall, temperatures in the 70s due to all that cloud cover kind of acting as a blanket in our atmosphere. You can really see it over in this Caledonia camera, not dealing with any rainfall over there as well. but still seeing a lot of clouds and temperatures in the 70s as we're waking up because of it. So not as cool of a morning for sure across the board. All of us in the 70s, not just Caledonia, but every area. This is one more look over in Amory. Same story, different camera. Lots of cloud cover. Temperatures in the low 70s there. So that's what you can expect. Temperatures right now, everybody in the low 70s. 73 in Bruce, 72 in Water Valley, 73 in Clarksdale, 72 in Eupora, 74 in Macon, 70 up in Iuka. So all of us near that 70-degree mark, and not as cool as you're headed out the door this morning. Cooler temperatures are on the way, though. We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Your first 12 hours ahead, you can expect a majority of your day is actually going to be sitting in the 70s. Yes, we have 80s for highs today, but a lot of us in the 70s through a majority of your day until we're into maybe those later afternoon times. Rain chances this morning about a 40% because we'll continue to see those propagate up to the northern half of our area. We drop it to a 20% as we head midday into early afternoon, and then we'll pick it up a little bit more as we head into those evening hours. So we'll go hour by hour in just a few minutes, but I want to show you an overall picture of what's going on. Why are we seeing these rain chances in here? Here's a more national view. Today, we're watching moisture drive up from the Gulf. You can see very heavy rain actually in places like Jackson. So let me zoom in and show you what's going on down there, because if you are headed to Jackson, Mississippi this morning, or even central and southern Mississippi, yeah, they're dealing with a lot more heavy rainfall. You can see those heavy bands pushing into places like Jackson, Mississippi, Madison, Ridgeland area if you're headed there and south of that this morning. So a lot more heavy bands than we're looking at and expecting for your day ahead. But zooming out, let me show you one more national view, and let me talk about it for just a few minutes before we get into the forecast day by day. So moisture is driving up from the Gulf. That's what's causing that rainfall for us today. However, tomorrow the story changes. Tomorrow we're looking at this front. It's going to be a cold front as it pushes closer to our area tomorrow, bringing us more widespread rainfall. Very isolated showers today. Again, might get a sprinkle or two into the morning and afternoon hours. More widespread heavier downpours happens on Tuesday, all due to that cold front that's going to be coming into play. So let's put it into motion, show you what you can expect today, day to day. Yes, this afternoon we're expecting a few showers to continue to stick around, but watch as we head into Tuesday and this cold front continues to push closer to our area. You can see that heavy rain extending from our north, places like Kentucky into North Mississippi. Same story into the afternoon, might get a few heavier downpours in here. Still not looking at anything severe on your Tuesday, but yeah, maybe a few heavy downpours, some lightning, maybe some heavy rainfall, gusty winds at best with that. But we're watching this front. It's going to be pushing through overnight into your Wednesday. As for Wednesday, we have a 20% chance right now. I think we're really going to be dropping that because that front's going to be to our east. I think we'll see some gradual clearing even through the day on your Wednesday. You can see that rain not in our area, but in places like Alabama, maybe Atlanta, Georgia, over into the Carolinas. I think we're going to be gradually clearing out for our Wednesday. So today and tomorrow are the main days I'm going to be watching for some rainfall. The main days you should be watching if you're looking forward to some rainfall. Maybe you're waiting out for something due to the rain. I'm thinking today and tomorrow, Wednesday, we really look to be clearing out of things. So we'll take it hour by hour so you know when you can expect the heaviest rainfall over the next 48 hours. We'll talk about all that. Of course, a full look at your 7-day forecast because I have very nice conditions and good news to tell you about as we head into the end of the week. All of those details.
Visualize perfection, freshly picked ingredients, tantalizing flavors, sweet and sour intertwine, and dance into your glass. One-of-a-kind arrangements, hitting every note. Why wait for the weekend? It's on at the grill.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Maggie McAuley.
Hey, good morning. Thanks as always for sticking with us. And yes, we're here live in the Room to Room Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Maggie McAuley. Thanks for starting your day with Mississippi Live Weather, especially when there is weather out there, right? There's rain ongoing across the area. So I want to show you exactly what we're looking at. I'm going to switch this over into our analysis mode so I can really toggle back and forth on all of our radar tools. So let's talk about what's ongoing this morning before I get into your hour by hour forecast. In case you're just now joining in with us, seeing more rain down to our south in places like Jackson, Yazoo City, Let me switch over this radar site real quick for us, guys. Yeah, so seeing a little bit heavier rain, especially if you're going south this morning. So Yazoo City, Kenton, Jackson, Crystal Springs, all of those areas, Brookhaven. If you're traveling along 55, headed down south this morning, you're going to be dealing with a lot more heavy rain the further south that you go. So some heavy rain ongoing there, not necessarily the same story over in North Mississippi. So let me change it back to the radar site that's closest to us. You can see here, not dealing with near as what they're dealing with down in Jackson, but still some ongoing rainfall, especially if you're over into the Delta, Grenada County, into places like Greenville. I'm watching though this band that's really pushed through overnight. You can see this band right now that's sitting along 278 and north of that. Let me put this into motion so you can see where exactly this passed through overnight. So we're talking about that heavy band, even though, or really moderate band is what I'll call it, because it's not too heavy out there. No lightning strikes with it. Even though some of us aren't dealing with rain out the door this morning, you might still be dealing with wet roadways because of this. So watch this. This is over the last 6 hours. As we headed overnight, this is 2-3 a.m. You can see those showers just lifting north. They're passing through Euphoria, Grenada, Amory, 5 a.m. Now as we head into more closer to time, yes, now they're in North Mississippi, but overnight they were in areas northeast Mississippi, Greenwood, Eupora, crossing along 82. So that's why I say, even if you're not dealing with rain out the door this morning, it rained in the majority of our area overnight. At least saw a little bit of rainfall out there, a lot of us. Right now, the heaviest of rainfall is happening in northwest Mississippi, really as we head between Marks and Sledge. I said that earlier. Again, no lightning with this. So I'm not talking anything severe. Some rain ongoing through a good portion of Panola County. If you're waking up with this morning, or maybe heading along 55 north or south, if you're going through Panola County, you're going to be dealing with some rain. Over in places closer to New Albany, Enterprise, Mississippi, dealing with a few of those heavier pockets. Over in Parks as well. I know I just have to keep iterating though. I say heavier pockets than everyone else is dealing with, because most of everyone else dealing with just some light shower activity. At best, you're dealing with some maybe moderate showers out there. So that's a live look of what's going on. Let's get into the forecast, shall we? When can we expect more of these rain chances to come into play? Let me show you a few cameras before we get into the mix, because even if you're not dealing with rain out the door this morning, you're dealing with a look kind of like this, a little bit of a dreary day out there. This is over in Lafayette County. Temperatures in the 70s there. Live look over in Oxford. Lots of cloud cover. Same story no matter where you are across the board. This is over in Lee County. Tupelo. Lots of clouds there as well as you're starting off your day. Just pretty dreary start to the day overall, and temperatures yet again in the 70s. Let's talk about airport delays. If you're coming in and out of the area this morning, the good news is even with that heavy rain down in Jackson, I wasn't tracking any delays. Same story along the coast. Memphis International good to go this morning. Nationally, Atlanta looks good to go over in Chicago, and then over to our west from Denver over into LAX, not tracking any moderate to major delays within our airways this morning. Sticking here in northeast Mississippi, day ahead, we're going to be seeing 70s for majority of the day. So 70s all the way right now through your afternoon, or really early afternoon, upper 70s by 11. Little bit of a 30% chance, 9 to 10, and then we drop it to a 20 as we head into those really early afternoon, noonday hours. So headed out to lunch, not as prevalent shower activity, but we'll pick it back up into the afternoon. As for your day ahead, highs are going to be in the 80s, but low 80s. So that's why I say majority of the day, we're actually going to be in the 70s. Scattered showers, about a 40% chance for the entirety of your day. So let's take it hour by hour. As we head now through 9 o'clock, I think the majority of our area is going to be seeing just some light shower activity. But if you are in northwest Mississippi, still seeing those ongoing, maybe moderate, heavy at times downpours. Let's go into the noon hour. This is why I say a lot of us look to sit dry at noon. Most of us seeing just a lot of clouds by that noon hour. Yeah, a few showers in the mix, mainly for the northern half of our area, but a lot of us dry. Into the afternoon, we start to see more of those heavier downpours come back into the mix, especially in northwest Mississippi. So watch as we head really into the early evening hours. I'm thinking 6, 7 o'clock, northwest Mississippi getting a little bit more heavy rainfall, and a few of those creeping into northeast Mississippi as well, all the way through your 10 o'clock hour. So if you got any dinner time plans, especially northwest Mississippi, I encourage you to bring the rain gear with you. We'll see that rain continue to set up in areas north of 278 as well. Let's head into Tuesday. So very isolated chances today. A lot of us at least seeing something. More widespread chances actually come back into play for our Tuesday. Tuesday. So waking up on Tuesday, northwest Mississippi look to wake up for some rainfall. So if you're heading out in the morning along 55, probably going to be wet. Tate County down into the Delta looking to be wet for your Tuesday morning. But watch as we head into the afternoon. These showers going to be shifting into northeast Mississippi. So northeast Mississippi, you're not out of the woods just yet for your Tuesday. Scattered showers likely as we head mid-morning all the way into the afternoon. So more rain chances out there for Tuesday. I encourage you have the rain gear handy from morning to afternoon as we're going to be watching this scattered activity ongoing, some heavier downpours into the afternoon, especially as we head into those evening hours. We're watching this front as it pushes through. As the closer it gets, we continue to see some more rainfall. The good news is it's going to be making its way out of our area as we head overnight into our Wednesday. That's why I say for Wednesday, looking like a mainly dry day out there and starting to see some gradual clearing. You can see those clouds just kind of trying to clear back as best they can. I think Wednesday mainly going to be dry out here. How much rain are we looking to see from this? I'm not talking about a widespread 1 to 2 inches. Some of us, but not everybody. So look at this. I think the majority of the area, or a lot of us in northeast Mississippi, seeing anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch. You can see some of folks just really not getting in on a lot of that rainfall from Eupora down into the Golden Triangle region. But those who get consistently under some heavier pockets, so more north of 278, like we've been talking about, from Water Valley, Lafayette County, New Albany, up into Alcorn County, could see anywhere between 1 up to 2 inches if you get consistently under that rainfall. So that's who I'm thinking is going to be seeing the best chance of seeing maybe a more widespread 1 to 2 inches. Senatobia, Tate County, all the way over into Prentiss County and north of that, seeing the best chance for a little bit more rainfall out there. Let's talk about your 7-day forecast because it's a pretty good one. This is a 7-day forecast I actually like to give. Now, I know you're like, well, what about the rain, Maggie? Well, yeah, rain Monday and Tuesday. So getting over that, and we do need the rain. So no complaints on that in the weather department, but maybe ruining a little bit of your outdoor plans. After we get through Tuesday, though, Wednesday looking mainly dry, that cold front brings in more average conditions. I think, this is my opinion, but I think we saw our last 90-degree day last week, if you did hit 90. Some of us stayed in the 80s. I think the 80s are now here to stick around. So average highs, you can count me on that. If it gets back in the 90s, you can say, Maggie, you're wrong. But that is just my opinion. Looking from a meteorological standpoint, we are starting to see our highs return back near 80 as we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around near average for this time of year. You can see those overnight lows sticking consistently in the 50s. So after today and tomorrow, the rest of the week looks very nice, very more pleasant, drier air in the forecast, even some sunshine returning as we head into the weekend again, and just low 80s sticking around. So no complaints after the next few days, even though we are going to be dealing with some rain, yes, today and also into your day tomorrow. Make sure to stick with us this morning. Our last broadcast is going to be in about 10 minutes at 7:30, and we're going to go over everything you need to know. I'll take you one last time through your hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll talk through your latest Mississippi Live radar as well. So everything you need to know one last time out the door for you at 7.
At Room to Room, the VIP sale is here. And for a limited time, enjoy an extra 10% off Row furniture. From classic neutrals to bold statement pieces, Row gives you modern style with timeless comfort. Don't miss the VIP sale happening now, only at Room to Room Tupelo.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.